Vlad, can you pronounce your last name for me? Because I don't want to butcher it.
You know what? I don't care. I'm not one of those people that get upset, get mad over pronunciation of my name. But it's
Oh,
Kazbekov, because
Cosmic.
Vlad is not even my name, because my full name is Vladimir, just
I
like the
saw that.
Russian president.
I
But
saw that.
the short form for Vladimir is not Vlad.
Oh.
But people decided to call me Vlad, and I'm like, fuck, sure, call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Yeah,
As long as you're not forgotten, it doesn't really matter what you're called, right?
exactly. It's all about who I am. I don't change by people calling me something.
So you're a professional mixed martial artist,
Yes.
and you've been fighting for a long time. You have an awesome record, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. I found
Finally.
some photos. Uh-huh.
Finally, conversation not
Uh,
about the sport.
well, you know what? Anybody can, do an interview on a fight, about a fight, an upcoming fight, but it takes a lot of nerve to be able to talk to anybody about something that's so big that so many people are so closed off to, or just don't want to even do the research. I've had so many people go, "Oh, you're wrong, you're wrong." I said, "Well, why don't you go look it up?" And they're like, "Well, you prove me right." And no, this isn't my job to prove anything to you. It's all out there. I said, go on qmaps.pub, go on all these websites, you will find it. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible what we're witnessing, to say the least. It's wild.
Exactly. This is something that we've been talked about. We've been scared to talk about. We talked in our heads about that stuff for a very very long time, and
Yeah.
that was a conspiracy theory. There was nobody at a big stage was able to bring these things out until Jeffrey Epstein situation happened,
Mhm.
and then we were like, "Holy fuck! Alex Jones was right the whole time," even though we all knew he was right the whole time. But
Mhm.
we're gonna thank fake news for once
Yeah,
for putting out the real information, because they had no choice, and that gave us that blessing that we could continue and just prove people that we were not crazy, and that we were actually making perfect sense.
absolutely. I mean, you get news reporters or journalists like Amy Robach, who was told not to tell this story, and she had it years ago. She had from a girl
Because
that was directly involved, and they shut her up hard.
exactly, because you gotta understand these people a little bit, because they're still part of the system. I'm, for example, not part of the system, and I know that if they come after me or whatever, that I'm ready to face this, because it's just the way I was born. But a lot of people, they cannot. The perfect example is Alex Jones. Alex Jones thought he doesn't care, he's this and that. He was doing all the stuff that he was doing Infowars, and he
Yes.
didn't and he wasn't scared. But they used the simple psychology to break him down.
Yes.
What 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 is the most painful thing for people like us, for journalists, is to not to be able to talk. So if somebody silences you, that's a deep psychology type of thing. Like, that's what Nazis used to do, to break you down to your knees before they approach you and change you and turn you into something else. So that's what Alex Jones was doing. He had 2 million views on Infowars, more than CNN has. He has
Hmm.
a he was able to talk. He was able to talk. He only had one problem. He could never put things in a proper wording for people to understand. That's why people
Yeah.
thought he's crazy. But then look what they do. They shut him down. They remove his podcast. They remove his Twitter. They remove everything. And then obviously he's gonna go crazy, depressed, and then we see him getting DUI charges,
Hmm.
and then he's different haircut. So now if he ever comes back, he cannot be trusted, because
Yeah.
he's been put his knees. But the thing is, he was saying the truth. And then look at Julian Assange. That guy got the best. What every journalist wants to get. What is that called? How do you pronounce it? That he got that
The
prize.
WikiLeaks?
Prize for journalism. Yes, but he got the prize for
Oh,
journalism.
Pulitzer. He got the
Yes,
Pulitzer. Yes.
yes, exactly. So people, all the journalists, they know they know that he was the true journalist, and then he was shut down, and look what the things are happening to him. So that's why a lot of people are scared. Some people are dumb, they don't know, but the people that the true journalist is the one that like knows the consequences, and some people just get scared. So I kind of understand them, but I don't want to. I used to blame them and be like, oh, how can you just not talk? How can you just fucking not say it? And how do these news reporters, man, like this people that work for CNN, they can't be dumb. They know that they're talking shit. They know that they're lying. But once the Fox News woman, she just got fired, right?
Yeah. Just got fired 2 days ago.
Exactly. She got fired for saying what we pretty much know on Fox News.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, and I was watching it too. She had really long, pretty hair, and I will actually research her name for you. But I was watching that and watch what she said. Which, if you look on, what is it, Veritas Project? It's a website. If you look on their website, it's all out there. They're putting out videos of, I think the first video on there is a guy up in New Rochelle, New York, going to get tested. And he was talking to, each person. You have to go through like this person to that stage, to that stage. So they all get tested for this thing. And he kept on asking them, well, is this as bad as, the news is making it out to be? And they said, no, it's flu. It's not, it's not that bad. And he gets to this guy who's in the Army. And this was the one part that really struck out to me. The guy said, listen, I'm not, a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I don't know what it is. He goes, but he goes, it's not just about the flu. You understand? And the guy looked at him. He goes, we're here to protect you. We're here to, he literally said it like it was just, there you go. It's cute. Like it's nothing. Here you go. It's the truth. So, the more people that just question it, ask someone. I asked the Verizon guy earlier today. I said, are you installing that 5G shit? He said, no, we're against it.
Yep. But what's happening? It's like I'm into psychology. I went to university psychology, dropped out because I don't like the way they teach. But I understand psychology. Fucking cops, hold on. Oh, shit, I'm driving like so fast. Okay. So the way the psychology works, that's why I decided to just go off and just use my MMA platform to spread the awareness. Then I used the fact that Donald Trump Jr. reposted and congratulated me for my win and comments on my stuff. So I didn't take it as for granted as like, oh, I'm so cool, whatever, he noticed me. No, it's like it gives me that platform to be taken, to be a little bit credible. So when people like maybe look at me and like now be like, okay, let me listen to what he has to say. So but the way the psychology works is like when we are just talking about it, and some people ignore it because everything goes into your subconscious mind because you cannot control it. And then there will be a moment in time for them that they will just be able to wake up and then connect all the dots. But it's just because we've planted that seed inside of their head that grew. And now, like, so that's why I keep just reposting it. And sometimes I feel like I'm fucking annoying. What am I doing? People are going to think like I'm lost my mind already. I'm just too much. But then I'm like, no, because I see how many people message me like, I support Trump because of you now. And then people follow Trump and then ask me the questions and like I turn people's opinion around, and then that's what drives me to continue to do that. So they will wake up. Our job is just to say whatever we feel, not shy away from it, and then they will wake up eventually. But then it'll be too late at some point. That's why I tell them jump with the Trump train before it's too late, because we're already winning. Absolutely. That's why I'm not scared to say it. Like, to just say whatever, because I know they're not gonna come after me anymore because they're losing. They're occupied right now on the defense because they have to defend. Trump is taking them all down. But then they're not gonna recover from it, so nobody's gonna come after me. They're not gonna.
Yeah, he just took out the Federal Reserve. We now own it. The U.S. Treasury is now in charge of that, which is huge. That means the Rothschilds are out of the way, which is gigantic.
And what people understand that.
How about this? I have a friend who's in the military who I've been speaking to about this a lot, and he, said he fears that Donald Trump and the whole Q plan won't be able to be executed because he said they have the Illuminati, the 1% has more money than you can understand. I said, let me tell you. I said a little story, and you'd be shocked. He goes, what? I said, do you want to know who's part of the 1%? He goes, who? I said, the Kennedys and the Onassis family are both part of the 1%. So there's more good in that 1% than there probably is bad. And furthermore, to me, that just proves my theory that they definitely had the means, they had the time, and they had the ability to fake JFK Jr.'s death.
Exactly. And what's another genius thing is that they played along. They knew about all the things that they've been done, and they played along. And then Trump and his team, they played along, and then it's like when you know somebody's plan and you play along with that plan and turn their plan against them, that's when the plan is successful. That's what they did. That's why they won the election. That's why that they turned this coronavirus thing against them, because it was created to take down Trump, but now it's backfiring on them. It's like, how weird it is to say, because people like looking at the world level, and they feel like, how can the world all revolve around Trump? People don't understand that there are
because he was picked for this.
Exactly, exactly, because America runs the world. Whoever sits in the White House runs the world. But there's a three parts on Earth that are controlled by this Illuminati, or whatever you want to call them, by the elite, by the Zionists, by Freemasons, whatever. Yeah. But we know who they are, and they control Vatican, they control royal families, and they control America. So there's three pieces on Earth that have to be controlled in order to control the entire planet. And now look at what's how coronavirus is doing. It's hitting Italy because Vatican is there. It's not hitting England because England's been taken out prior to that. It left European Union and everything, so it's been done prior to coronavirus. So now their focus is Italy and America, and then all the cases are in there because we know what it is. We know why, but that's why it's really and I know that Trump will, and I know that Trump will not lose this because we've got ourselves so he's got himself so deep already that there's no way of losing.
He keeps on putting out more signs, and people just aren't paying attention to it. When he was on the news the other day and he stopped talking about the coronavirus to talk about a bunch of young people that they rescued from Peru and Honduras while working with international governments, right? Nobody ever, people were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, go listen to it. And then he talked about rescuing a young woman from overseas that was in a really terrible situation. I'm thinking sex trafficking, child sex trafficking. And I'm thinking it could be somebody that has been gone missing for a very long time, like Kristen Smart or somebody they didn't find.
Exactly. You live in America, and I go there for fights all the time, and I go Walmart to buy some stuff for after weigh-ins, and I always see these billboards of kids missing. Why do people never noticing this? Why do people never know? Why the kids can just go fucking missing? Jesus, 800,000
without a trace
every year.
Gone without a trace. And I said to my friend the other day, I said, what point did the American public not look at that and say, what is wrong? What is happening to these kids that they literally, you never find them. You don't find bodies. You don't find any evidence. They're literally just gone without a trace. And if that doesn't speak to the level of that, there's got to be something else going on in this world that's, not comprehensible to many people, because people just don't believe that there is either that level of very good or that fear of really bad.
Fear of the truth. There's some people, they don't want to dig in deep because they're afraid that we will be right, and they're afraid.
But then they watch it on movies, and they'll sit there and they'll talk about their favorite movies, like the movie Seven and all these sick and deranged movies.
And they don't understand what those movies are about. That's what I'm saying. They're so fucking dumb. They don't understand the simple movie Matrix. They look at it as a fucking action movie. How the fuck do you look at it as an action movie?
I know.
It's like people don't understand the movies. You watch The Godfather, and then how to get the deals done. What did Michael Corleone had to do to go change the Pope? You know what I mean? Because mafia works with Pope.
Yeah.
Pope is not a nice guy. Pope is a
No.
fucking criminal. This guy's the
He's
mobster.
a piece of shit. He is a mobster.
Exactly. Yes,
Absolutely.
he is a Christianity. He represents Christianity, and
No, he
everything is
actually,
wrong.
I would say if anything, and this is just from what I've gathered from all the religious aspect or the spiritual aspect is the Vatican's very much more Catholicism, and Catholicism is not the original religion whatsoever. It's just pieced out of different,
Oh,
they
100%.
took
It's
it from
been changed so
Christianity
many
and from
times.
Judaism. So it's not even, it's if people go, oh, the Bible. Listen, the Bible is a holy book. It was inspired by God, but was it written by man? Yes. Are men corrupt? Yes. Women are corrupt, and that's why you can go with the interpretation, but every man that's interpreted or woman that's interpreted the Bible or the book of Revelations or anything like that, it's all different. None of it matches. None of it's the same because it's just open to interpretation.
If it worked, would they do everybody commits sin? Every single person that says they're Christians or whatever,
Oh, everybody
they're
does.
sinning all the time. They're
Every
sinning
day.
all the time.
Yeah.
That's not working.
I
So
try
everybody
not
contradicts
to.
themselves.
We try not to. And people tell me, they're like, oh, I'll sit there and I say, I try my best every day to be a good person, or at least to be better than I was yesterday. And the thing is that it is a daily effort. It's effort to be a good person. You have choices all day long. Whether they're, the slightest little, to let the person go, whatever. Stupid little choices that we have all day long. And at the end of the day, you can either choose to go in the better direction or go in the direction, of either evil or, let's say, sheep.
Exactly, and that's the choice these people are making. And especially, but we gotta give them a little bit of chance. That's what I said. Jump on a Trump train before it's too late.
Absolutely.
When it'll be too late, it's like this Meghan and Prince Harry that fucking fucking hypocrites. We're never gonna go there because of
now they
of
want to
Trump,
be here.
and here they are. But yeah, but the thing is, royal families are just running away. It's my theory that
They
when
are.
the
They know
human race
exactly
is
what's
about
going
to get,
on.
I feel like they just let one of their piece of their blood out with her because she's an American citizen, right?
Yes.
So he can become an American citizen, and
Yeah.
then they just kind of probably be like, oh, we're all fucked already. The royal families are down. We're all fucked. Let at least this guy out, so our blood is just continues somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that
They're in a lot of trouble. The royal family's in a ton of trouble. This isn't something new. This is something I've been reading about for a very long time. The allegations against Prince Charles and Prince Andrew, and the allegations against, people tell me, like, you shouldn't say their names. And I said, but the allegations are out there. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, this definitely happened. Do I believe it did?
That's why he got coronavirus.
Do I believe it happened? Yes, I do. Do I believe the allegations against Tom Hanks by Ruth Ashcroft? Absolutely do. Do I know that they're truth? We will soon find out.
Exactly. And you know what? That's why I was just talking to one of the one of the pages that support Trump. They followed me, and then they have like a lot of followers and stuff, and they
probably how I found you. I found you on one of those pages.
Probably yes. So yeah, and one of them just kept DMing me, and we kept talking about this Tom Hanks situation and how dumb our movement looks sometimes, and that's why I sometimes say that people that with people that knowledgeable and know what they're saying and can back it up should only be allowed to speak, because people in our movement, some people are just so dumb that they discredit us because we're fighting fake news for spreading fake news. But then if we spread something without backing it up, we are fake news too. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're just fucking messaging to this Tom Hanks' son on his like comments because the guy fucking made some video about I'm Illuminati, just sarcastic video.
Yeah.
And then
his
the
son,
way they reacted
that
over
wasn't
there,
sarcastic. Like, he was being real.
He was being real, yes, but he wanted to use the sarcasm to kind of like pretend that we're wrong, but you could say that he is real, because otherwise why would he do it? He would have just stayed quiet. But the thing is just the way our people reacted. I was reading those comments, I was like, please do not like comment, because they were just like, they were like, there's a river filled with lava made for you of our tears, and like some fucked up shit from the movies, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like that's why people sometimes don't take us serious.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. And it's crazy because a lot of people are asking me to prove this stuff to them. I said, listen, I don't think you understand. As an independent journalist, who, yes, I have absolutely zero schooling, but I have an obsession. And when I want to find
Schooling
something
does not
out,
make you smart.
you don't have to. I could read any book I want, and I have plenty right behind me that, I don't need a professor or somebody to teach me. And I said, I've done enough investigative reporting on this that I have found people want the proof. I found it. Have I sent it to them? No. I said, you need go and do the work yourself. It's hard. It is a lot of work. I'm exhausted, but I want to send you some stuff I found. I found proof of it all, like absolute proof of everything. Court documents, you name it, I found it.
And that's what intelligence is coming from. That's why you are smart, and that's why I keep telling people your your fucking people just keep calling me like something's just
I get it all the time.
Yeah, Jesus, and I keep denying it. But
Don't
the thing is diploma. Let me tell you something about diploma. Diploma does not make you smart. In order to finish university, you don't need no knowledge. You need patience, because you're memorizing things that somebody already wrote. You're going by the guidelines. The smart people are the ones that decided to break through from that and invent something. The people that invented something, they're smart. History. Why the fuck do you need to go to university to be a historian? History is in a fucking library.
It is.
And if you go to university to get a history diploma, you're actually fucking dumb as fuck, because you had to go by the guidelines of the university and of the corrupt system. George Soros fucking owns all the fucking schooling and all the like in the world.
Yeah.
Him and like some other fucking one of those families. I forgot the name, but they're the ones that own every single
I think
book
the Rothschilds and the Soroses, and I know the Podestas are pretty big too.
Yeah, but they're even
pretty...
Soros is not part of the 13 families. I made a post today about which 13 families.
Oh, the 13 rich families. I was looking at that. That is an incredible pyramid. When you look at that, it's actually kind of scary. But like I said, the cool thing is that part of the 1%, you have the Kennedys and the Onassis family, and JFK Jr. was best friends with Trump growing up. They were best friends. And if you look at Hollywood doing the song Imagine, people are like, I can't believe you say that. Imagine is a treasonous song. It shouldn't be allowed to be played. First of all, they talk about no religion, no God, no heaven, no hell, one government, all this crazy weird shit, right? So it was all the Hollywood weirdos that did it. And then you got JFK's grandkids all did the song Timber by Kesha. And it's actually proven that it's JFK's grandkids. And the cool part is they're sitting there, they're laughing, they're smiling. Why would you be smiling, right? Well, because timber, if you listen to the words, it's like it's going down, you better run, all this crazy shit. But when you really dig into it, JFK, a lot of people think was assassinated, and they think that George H.W. Bush had a lot to do with it. And his CIA name was Timberwolf.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's giving me goosebumps right now.
So I know
That's
a little
amazing.
bit of that. I do
That's
my
amazing.
research. I do my research. So they put that video out as a retort to Hollywood that, like, pretty much, is totally okay with the fact that, their grandfather was assassinated, their uncle, their whatever, JFK Jr. that had to fake his own death. I am so convinced that guy is alive, and he's a big part of this Q movement. Like, I am more than that convinced. 2 weeks ago, there was, I think it was a detainment facility in Guantanamo Bay. And when you pressed on the link, their main picture was the sign of the detainment facility, but it was also a bunch of United States military guys. And one of them said, "We are Q," and it held up something else.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that.
And they took it down 2 days later because they knew we were all going to share it.
Yeah. And the thing that's been happening to Google, that it's an uncensored Google.
The fact that you can look up all this stuff, and I was able to get that court case, and it's not just, I'm not telling you, it's not just Tom Hanks, it's everybody in this, and I got the documents, I got the original file date, which was December 26, 2016, and they just updated it February 26, 2020, and the names that are on it are everything we thought.
Exactly. And that's what, like,
crimes against humanity, using AI intelligence against us, a list of stuff.
that they're being sued right now. I just today I got to this article of that Google, Facebook, and all
Yeah.
of them are being sued by China for like doing some like pretty much a genocide like type of thing.
Oh yeah, Oregon. This is what I'm talking about. And it's not just them. It's so many people that are being. It's a ridiculous amount of people, and it's crimes against humanity.
And all of that is
Organ
hidden behind the.
harvesting.
That's all of that is hidden under the COVID situation. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Oh,
Like
exactly.
I'll tell you this about COVID, and I'm not even supposed to. Like I'm not supposed to say that because we're trying to help Trump to achieve something, and
Absolutely.
that's why Trump has to keep saying that this is stuff is real. Stay inside of your house and this and that. Yes, it's real. The numbers are not. The numbers are not, and you just cannot check. This is
I
something that we
agree with
cannot
you
even check.
so much. I said it the other day. The numbers do not match on not one
Exactly, but how can you check, right?
fake
Like
media.
let's say we want to check, and how
Mm-hmm.
can we have that access to that database to see how many people in hospitals and how many cases? No, we can't unless we go to every single hospital and
Yeah.
calculate by hand.
Yeah.
So and whoever is giving out this numbers giving out to us is the same fucking people that is
Absolutely.
giving out those numbers, and then we go by them. So the virus is real, the numbers are not, but it's needed to be there. That's why Trump is playing along, and that's why we should play along because we have to keep people inside of their houses while they do
Oh,
all those operations and
yes.
everything behind in behind the curtain.
Yep.
'Cause,
No, it's
yeah,
true. I mean, what's the best way to protect people is to keep them in their houses. Because if you think about it, if they didn't do this and the deep state's plan was to, in fact, chip us, and if you didn't listen, you go into
they
FEMA
actually wanted to. Yeah, they wanted to
I know.
infect us for real.
I know. And this was the
And they
deep
want
state's plan. And the storm is the other plan, which is they're making that not happen. And Donald Trump is currently taking all of that down. Their whole plan is being shitted on. Pardon my language, but it is. And it's awesome to watch it. I keep on telling people this is a really unique time in history that we're witnessing the change of the entire world. The entire
world
world is going to be
powers
different after
for the
this.
first time ever. World powers are switching,
Yeah,
changing hands.
and we get to see it. We're
And
living it.
that's yeah, and that's from like how many years ago back. It's like you go back to Knight Templars before Moses brought Torah, before the
Yes.
Jewish religion. That's when that's like the Rothschilds, Illuminati. They started as a Knight Templars. They're
Mhm.
the people with that Templars with those knights with a red cross.
The Knights of Templar.
Yeah, that's how they
Yep.
started. That's what they did back in the day. And back in the day, their plan to take over the world. What they did back in the day, they said like we need treasures because the people that are ruling the world at that time, they were the people that had treasures and had some sort of magic or whatever,
Mhm.
and they needed that and gold. That's why they used to break into those temples and everything. They broke into the Temple of Solomon
Yes.
to get that magic book.
To get the
That
gold. Yeah.
I feel like it's still used. That's why we have Hollywood and all that stuff and all those satanic rituals. I think it's all coming from that Prophet Solomon's book in his temple that they broke into. They took that spear that killed Jesus, that spear. They've been collecting treasures. Back in the day, that was important. Then they created religion. I feel like they did it. Like we all that's one thing that I still don't know if like I agree with every single thing that's going on right now, except the religious part, because sometimes like we're gonna like we don't want to say it because Trump is using religion and everything in his plan. And yes, I could be wrong, but the thing is, those people started before religion, and then they used all of that into their favor.
Mhm.
So that's why I feel like it could be real, but it could be real, and they just changed it, and they just changed it into their favor, or they just brought it all along from the beginning.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
But
It's true.
it's good to have doubts. It's good to have doubts. That's why we research. If I didn't have that doubt, I would not maybe research more. So that's good to have sometimes doubts. I could be wrong, Hopefully, I am in that part. But just because I have that doubt, it's gonna make me research deeper and get even a better picture, a bigger picture. Because the
Well, and then
doubt
you're going to
initially, the
get the
doubt
truth further.
has got us to the point where we are right now. That's doubt
Absolutely.
in our head. So,
Absolutely. Oh, I
yeah.
did. I mean, I've been researching this for so long, before 2017. And it's crazy because I remember when I first really got woke to it, and it was, I think it was when Hillary was the Secretary of State. Now, I didn't realize how evil they were until Benghazi, and then I started reading into everything. And I was like, okay, these guys got some like serious, like deep ties and body counts underneath them. And then when you start really looking at it, how many? And I believe her first victim, or would have been victim, was there. Um, and God knows if there was people before that. But he was supposed to take her Senate seat. That Senate seat was supposed to. He was the, let's say, the favorite, and she was, you know what I mean. She was the underdog. He was the favorite, and it's sort of him dying, and not being able to avenge his father's death, which was the last thing that he was talking about vehemently. He kept on saying, "If I have to take the government down, I will avenge my father's death." And look at what's happening.
Yeah. So
You
that's
know.
what got you going, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
That
I'm
little
I'm so
doubt.
amped.
You
I'm
see?
so revved on it. The missing kids is a big thing for me as well. The pushing of the vaccines. Not that I'm an anti-vaxxer at all. I just think that there's so much that we don't know and we don't understand, because they don't tell us. The fake media doesn't tell us anything. All
You
we
just have to
hear
look
is
at
lies.
who wants to take control of vaccines. As soon as you see like who's taking control of your vaccines, then
Bill
you have to
Gates.
already have a doubt
Bill
that
Gates.
Bill Gates and Melinda Gates
Yeah.
Foundation, if they got it themselves in the vaccines, that means there has to be something about it. When Bill Gates got himself into HARP,
Yep.
HARP station was created for just to collect data. It was not created to manipulate with weather.
Yeah.
And then that motherfucker goes in there and buys all the stocks of the HARP. And then next thing you know, he manipulates weather, and then they hit Japan. And then like before they hit Japan, that's where Alex Jones is genius, because Alex Jones didn't just say this. All they like put it out his ass. That said like that Japan didn't agree with something with the deep state, and then they used HARP to attack them and create like hurricanes and tsunami. But
Yeah.
how he backed it up, because he looked at the pictures of our atmosphere from satellites,
Mm-hmm.
at where the HARP is prior to tsunami or hurricane, and then there was a big like energy levels like activation and all that stuff, and he
Mm-hmm.
had like all the, and I looked at all those pictures, and I'm like, okay, that makes perfect sense, because you have to back it up somehow.
Yeah.
So, and then you look at Bill Gates buying the stocks of it, and then now Bill Gates getting into vaccines, and that's like
Did you hear about Project 201?
that. What project?
Oh, Project 201. It was
Oh yes, it's called Scenario 201. It's when the World Health Organization, Bill Gates Foundation, and I think Hillary Clinton Foundation, they ran that 5 months ago. They ran the scenario. I
yes,
put that.
the coronavirus scenario.
Yeah,
They
I
did 5
put that
years
all
ago.
on
They
my
did it.
story of all those articles, and then above those articles, that's how I get people to listen. I don't just put the article. Above the article, I put the Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein picture, and then people like, oh fuck.
I'm gonna
And then
friend
they
you
start
on
reading.
Facebook, because on Facebook Messenger, because you can't get the links when I send them on Instagram. It doesn't copy and paste the link. So I'm
Oh,
gonna send them to you on Facebook, and there's a lot of people that are very acutely aware. A lot of fighters, a lot of people in the fight community. Oddly enough, I was shocked. More fighters than regular people are really into this and heavily into the movement and know what's going on. I personally think like people like you, like Tito Ortiz, Brandon Vera, that have been around the military, know things that, we're gifted with information. I have a friend that's in California right now who gifted me with some intel, and let me tell you, the credentials he sent me were incredible. I was like, okay, so this guy definitely knows what he's talking about. And he was the
exactly.
guy that said that he was afraid that Donald Trump wouldn't be able to execute the plan because of the money that,
Oh,
they
me too. I
had.
was so afraid. With this impeachment, I was running around and like a fucking. I'm
I
like, what
knew
if they succeed?
it
I'm
was
like, what if
never
they
going to happen.
succeed? I was like, believe me. And now I know there's no turning back. Now there's no way he's losing.
No,
I give
he's
you
not.
like
Never.
I know
It's
100%.
universal law. He's going to win.
Yeah, because it just doesn't. It just we've got this for the first time in history, pretty much of the history as we know it before it's been rewritten or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That we've got this close to defeating that fucking evil.
Yeah.
Everybody that complaining about their lives, about they have a shitty life, that they have like they're not happy
They have
about
no
something. You
idea how
have to
bad
blame
it is.
them, their fucking system, and then they're defending these people.
Yeah.
That's what I get like. That's what I keep telling fucking people. I'm like, wake the fuck up. How can you be so fucking dumb?
They don't
And
want to
like,
know. I think people don't want to believe that there is evil that's that insidious out there, and
because
that
it's
people that
their
you should
ego.
trust.
It's all comes to psychology. That's their ego.
Yeah.
Because if they've been saying that somebody is wrong, they will never accept other way because it's gonna defeat them from inside. It's gonna be like, oh, I've lost that battle. I was wrong. That's
Yeah.
fucking ego. That's when there's a pride and then there's an ego. With
Yeah.
pride, if you have a pride, then you can criticize yourself. That you can be like, I say I was wrong. Find a way. But they have so much fucking ego because they're actually very weak people. That's why they will
Yeah.
never. That's why they're shying away from from the truth. That's why they yell at you before you bring them facts. You bring facts to them,
Oh yeah, you get yelled
and
at
they
and
yell
berated.
at you. They get
Yeah.
triggered for a reason. That's why Donald Trump Jr.'s book is called Triggered, because as soon as you come up to them with some sort of fact or some sort of statistic that will discredit them, they start fucking yelling and running away like fucking like degenerates, man. It's so funny to see.
Yeah, and
They
we're the
would never
deplorables
battle.
though.
Exactly. It's fucking the Charlie Kirk is the best guy. I'm just fucking this guy fucking like he put me in the primary messages, Charlie Kirk, and he reads every single thing I fucking send him. It says scene. And this fucking guy did not even like anything. It gets me like so pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Because you know what? People would rather look at your stuff than give you credit for it. It's proven so many times. My story gets a ridiculous amount of views, and my pictures on Instagram get like no likes. I'm like, oh, so you'd rather just look at it and keep it moving. All right, thanks. And you know what? It's usually your biggest, like, people that you would think that would be your biggest supporters usually aren't. People are just haters in general, and you see it all over in MMA, in politics, in journalism. People like they vehemently hate Donald Trump so much. And I actually I've talked to a lot of my press colleagues and fighters that I'm close with, and I said, at the end of the day, I said, you guys can hate him all you want to, but largely, in part, if it wasn't for Donald Trump, there would be no UFC.
Exactly. This guy is the savior, and this guy, fuck, I don't even understand. Like, I don't want to, sometimes I want to express how much I fucking love that guy. That
he's a great human being.
On my bucket list is, before I die, I want to shake his hand.
We will
just
together. We will together. I want to. When I go to the White House and I get the Pulitzer, I'm taking you with me.
Fuck, and I will do the same. If I ever get invited to the White House, that's it. I'm gonna do the same. But give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to my Instagram for a second and just fucking mute this goddamn group I'm involved in. They fucking keep sending me messages every second. I'm gonna fucking talk so much shit right now. Let me mute that fucking group. 1 second.
You got it.
Holy fuck! You have no idea. Like, we're talking. I'm trying to concentrate, and these fucking people, man, just keep doing it.
I turned all my notifications off just because of that, because I was like, you know what? I want this interview to be awesome. And I don't really like to do interviews per se where it's like a question and answer. I like to have a conversation and hear people's real opinion, because at the end of the day, like I said, anybody could ask you a question and go, okay, well, Vlad, what's your, you know what I mean? You can sit there, what's your real name? When did you start mixed martial arts? When did you get into
fucking bullshit. You know what? That's exactly what I every single person now wants to be an interviewer of the fighters, and then they just don't bring anything new to the table.
Yeah.
They're doing exactly the same thing. I guess, it works with, if you pick the fighters, the right fighters. Like, if somebody does it with Covington, you already know it's going to be interesting. Or Conor McGregor, you already know you can ask those questions, it's going to be interesting. But when they bring a guy that, can't put two words together, and you're going to ask him the exact fucking same questions. When did you start your career? Holy fuck, I'm not going to click on that, man. I'm not going to
how many times have you answered that question? A
Yeah.
100,000. And it's crazy because I've gotten messages from fighters' parents, like UFC fighters' parents are like, thank you for actually getting them to talk about their real life outside of fighting, because nobody gets to know that. Nobody, not many people know that Chris Cyborg was bullied as a kid and she actually had no interest in fighting. But I got that out of her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You bring something new to the table.
Thank you.
But that's like, I could already guess that just because of the simple that you're researching the very dangerous area, and the fact that you're researching it, it's already, I can put two and two together, that you're already a great journalist, you have an intellect, and you're smarter than all of those, because those people, they follow guideline. You don't follow the guideline. That's what makes you smart. That's why in psychology, everybody here that's why I left my program, because they follow the guideline. That's not psychology. Psychology is when you're Freud and you're given fucking 200 people and you can do whatever the fuck you want with them to get their answer. That's psychology, even though it's harsh. But
Yeah.
the thing is, that's the only way to find out. You know what I mean? But here, you know what I mean? Like that's maybe that's a bad example. Maybe it's gonna
No, but it's
make me sound like I'm a fucking dictator, man.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's how it is. You cannot follow the guideline. Otherwise, you're going to be like a part of the system.
Hey, I say it all the time. The most controversial figure, person, whatever you want to call him, that ever lived, ever, was Jesus. And we're still fighting over him 2,000 years later. Be controversial. Be different.
Exactly.
You won't be forgotten. But if you're like everybody else, like all the fake media, nobody's going to know their name.
Exactly.
After it's over, Rachel Maddow is going to be who? What's that ugly lady's name? What? Who? That she's not going to be known as. None of them are going to be known. I don't want to be the next, I actually respect her a great deal, but I don't want to be the next Tommy Lauren. I want to be the next Carrie Stellar. I want to,
Exactly.
I want to be myself.
Exactly. And that's what I said. And that goes back into when you're different and you're like smart, whatever, a lot of people are going to hate you, and then you're going to end up probably dead. Like that's what happened to Jesus, because he's probably been saying something real. And that's exactly what I keep telling people. I'm like this is virgin ears. I'm like, take all your fucking news and all your opinion away and just try to look at this simple thing. 4 years, not even a single positive article published about Donald Trump.
It's very sad.
If he's hated so badly, maybe there is something that he's doing right.
I say that all the time.
Your fucking mind. That's what gets people off sometimes, and that's what gets people researching. Because some people are so at such a virgin level that we can't even comprehend it. Sometimes we feel like, oh, how can they not see this? It's so obvious. But it's just because we are so much above, progressed at that level already, that for us is simple. For them, it's still complex. Yeah. And that's not being cocky here, talking about being cocky. That's actually truth.
Yeah. No,
and that's why sometimes you have to tell them things that you tell like a little kids, a little children. Sometimes you have to tell them that this is black collar and this is white collar, like something like very simple, and then they understand.
Right out pretty much.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I'm being a little bit successful to changing people's minds, because again, I use psychology into like my approach, so I kind of understand where they come from, and for each person I come up with a different approach. Yeah. Oh fuck! I just wanted to get into fucking Walmart and look what's going on here.
What happened? Is it closed or is there a lot of people?
How do I change camera?
Oh, the little it's a little camera. Yeah.
Look at that.
Holy! Wait, is that a line of people?
It's a line of people. I guess they're just allowing probably like fucking 10 people to get in or something. I don't know.
Holy shit! I mean, you know what? I was at a supermarket. They did that the other day. And I said, God forbid anybody does have any heebie-jeebies. I'm not upset about this. I said, but
Donald Trump just reposted my story as we speak.
Wait,
tell me about the fucking signs. Donald Trump just reposted my story. Junior, literally just now, it said he mentioned me in his story, and I'm not gonna open it. But the thing is, think about it. That's this conversation and that all puts together. And
I'm with you. I'm with it.
What an awesome fucking guy. I messaged him the other day as I'm like, Don, I don't wanna seem like a desperate, attention-seeking fucking person that I keep tagging you shit. But I told him straight up, I'm like, I just fucking wanna, like, if you repost something from me, it just gives me that credibility and I can continue continue changing people, and that works. But you see how like I'm like a little kid got happy about it. Holy fuck, man! Like
I love it. It's nice to be able to speak to somebody about this and not be told, hey, you're crazy, or or have somebody even shy away from wanting to talk about it, because there are literally no journalists that want to talk. I've had a couple people tell me, you really should be careful. I said, no, you should be careful.
Journalism died with Julian Assange arrest.
I know.
That's what happened. Fuck, man.
That's why I became a journalist. I actually, a couple of reasons. I had gotten injured a couple of years ago and wasn't able to train kickboxing and wasn't able to play pool, and I'm an avid pool player. So I said I wanted to be a journalist, but at the same time, I was looking at the media, and I watched over the last 8 years what the media turned into. And it's turned into just a disgusting, ugly monster over the whatever fad, whatever, is trending, mass shootings, suicide, you name it, whatever it is at the moment, they're going to run with it and run with it and run with it. And I started saying to my dad, it's really irresponsible the way that they're reporting the news or misreporting it and giving people the wrong information. And I'd rather be a person that, I said, I don't give a shit if I get paid or not. I really don't. But I want to get the truth out about whatever it is. I've had a lot of run-ins with, say, Conor McGregor. He's had a little issue with stuff I've said about him, but I said this isn't hate. This is just, it's my personal opinion of your actions and your character. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It's just my personal opinion.
Exactly. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
And
I don't care if I hurt somebody's feelings. Yeah, and I don't care if I hurt somebody's feelings.
I told him, get thicker skin. You're a fighter, for crying out loud. You shouldn't care what I think. I'm just one person,
Yeah. That's why people sometimes think like I supposed to, because Habib Nurmagomedov blocked me on Instagram, right? Because me and him like Habib, right?
Habib
and we train. Yeah, first of all, he's from the exact same area as me. We're from that part of Russia, in the Caucasus region. And the thing is, some people like, oh my god, I'm like, I don't care if he blocked me. I would still say what I told him when he blocked me.
Yeah.
Because back then, because he started in my gym, right, the one I represent in New Jersey, a dojo. That's where he started, as his first 2 UFC fights, and then I just kept busting his balls over that tiramisu thing. I kept
and
tagging
he blocked
him.
You
I kept eating tiramisu and tagging him in it, and the next thing you know, he fucking blocked me. And
I got blocked by Megan Anderson because I told Megan Anderson blocked me because I did an interview with Felicia Spencer, who's actually a friend of mine, and it was right before she got the nod to even fight her. And I said, don't worry. I said, just grapple her. Just take her to the mat. She's got no jujitsu. And all of a sudden, I went to go click on her thing, and she blocked me. I'm like, oh, you can't take that. I think you have jujitsu.
Triggered.
Get thicker skin, Megan. You're twice my size. You know what I mean? My words should not hurt you.
Yeah.
It's true. It's so true. But it's an honor to speak to you, and it's been so nice to actually have somebody to share all this stuff with.
That's you know what it is in reality, why it feels nice. It's that those therapy, psychological therapy, you have to go see shrink, and just it's sometimes you just have to say what you think and have somebody agree with it. Absolutely. And then that gives you that weight off your shoulders. And that's what happened. We both made our life easier and better, and it's my fucking day is amazing right now because so much weight.
You made mine too, and let me tell you, I'm gonna send you my phone number, because when the internet goes dark tomorrow, you're only gonna be able to call and text. So I'm gonna send you my phone number because there's gonna be a lot of crazy shit going on that I'm gonna be sending you all the information I get.
Exactly. Send it to me now on Instagram, and
I will.
I'll text you.
I will. And tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Vlad.mma, and I guess this is it. I only do Instagram is my number one thing.
Okay. So we'll rock that then.
So Instagram is the main thing. Yeah.
It was fantastic to talk to you, and great to meet you in person on FaceTime.
That's in person, but whatever. One day we will meet in the White House, hopefully.
We definitely will. We're going to meet somewhere on the other side of this, because this is going to be huge, and you were a big part of it, and I can't thank you enough for actually speaking to me about this, because again, it's very hard to get anybody to talk about it. And again, it's been my honor, and where we go one, we go all.
Exactly. Thank you so much. You're
welcome.
Have a good day. You too. Bye.
Bye.